This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Detroit is the greatest!
Straight up light you on fire for a Coney dog right now.
Darren McCarty comes back with Neiman in front of him. McCarty draws. McCarty in. McCarty scores! A magnificent goal! Darren McCarty!
Stafford takes, throws, end zone, Calvin, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. I'm Vinny Stubbs. Sitting across from me is the King, Jason Jarvi. To the left of Vinny Stubbs is John the Sack Macaroon. Jason Jarvi, shalom, my friend.
What's up, Vinny? How's it going?
Nothing much. Just doing the same thing that I was doing 5 minutes ago when I first saw you. So
I know. You look a little sad today.
Jason, you're getting gray hair, first of all. I just want to say that and get it out of the way. I didn't want to I wanted to save it for the podcast.
I appreciate that. That was my wife. We got together with the family. We're all sitting there, and she's like, oh, man, you have a bunch of grays.
Dude, where did it come from, bro? You're like 30 years old.
It's from my wife.
Oh, my. Why? That's a good question.
Because she stresses me out.
Yeah? You got to do what I do and not do anything but your hand. I'm just kidding. Don't
I'm not going to do that because I love my wife.
Yeah, you're a smart man, and I'm not.
John, do you love your wife?
I love my wife a whole hell of a lot, dude. I've been in doghouse so much.
But you got like one gray hair. Jarvi is like jam-packed and filled to the brim with gray hair.
I lost all my hair.
I'm going to be a silver fox.
Oh, you look like Santa Claus on steroids.
I do not look like Santa Claus.
Yes, you do.
I don't appreciate that.
It's gray.
Hey, you came in here with this skin-tight Ultimate Warrior
Listen,
shirt.
That was sickening. I'm really ashamed of myself for that.
I know, you put
You're
on your coat.
dick.
Because you were ashamed.
I was ashamed. I told you I was going to cover up the attire because I was offended. I go, is this tight? You go, dude, he opens the door. He goes, dude, that is just way too tight.
That was the first thing I said.
Oh,
I didn't
calm
even
and
say hi.
collect.
I said,
dude, that is just way too tight.
That is too tight.
It was too tight, and it's covered up, so we're not going to expose the shirt. It's the Ultimate Warrior. It kind of looks like yoga pants on my shirt with boobage and just curviness. And just listen, I'm 200 pounds, and I shouldn't be wearing the shirt. I'm sick. I don't know why the hell I'm wearing it. I'm offended. I'm sorry. And I got a V-neck underneath it, so it's even worse.
I think
but your hair is gray.
John should try on that shirt.
Hey, you talk about clearing a room out fast. Hell no.
It'd be hilarious.
I'd stay right here.
You can send that picture to Howard Stern.
There you go. I feel I sent a picture of Vinny with his flexing out
He
there.
ain't going to respond. He's so damn cool. My first day on AM, I go, Howard, I'm coming after you or something.
Mm-hmm.
He never responded. He ain't got time for a flunky like me.
Because I'm sure that he actually listens to Barrage.
He doesn't listen. Who the hell? Stern is not even. Stern is the greatest, and there's just nothing you can do.
John, you look a little sad today.
Really?
Your eyes look a little puffy.
Is it because
Looks like
Calvin
you've been
Johnson's
crying.
retiring?
No, I have not been crying. I've been, kind of just doing some work around the office, prepping up for. I got a big week of podcasting coming up. We got a couple big guests going to do one-on-ones. I'm a little nervous doing some prep. When you got two young kids and you're running around all the time and you're doing like 3-4 different things at the same time, you're like, what the heck? So I'm a night owl naturally, so I'm up till 4 o'clock, getting up at 8, and so I'm naturally just a tired guy. So
Don't lie, John. We know that you are sad about the news that came out.
Uh-oh, what news?
The news that apparently Calvin Johnson, Megatron as he is affectionately known, he's probably going to retire.
Dan Miller on the call.
Oh, no! What? I'm excited, dude. Actually, if you want my honest reaction, the doc's reaction is it needs to happen, and it's going to be something that's going to actually help the Lions. I'm very happy with the news.
It's going to happen eventually, and I have to agree that at this point he was going to cost too much money. There's no reason why he should have restructured his contract because.
Listen,
why
you know
bother?
what's kind of sucks about this whole situation with Calvin kind of making the decision for the Lions? I want to know, does Bob Quinn have the stones? If Calvin Johnson, if he goes to him and is like, listen, we cannot have you making $24 million. We need you to renegotiate.
And he's like, no. Why is this being talked about? He's retiring.
That's what I'm saying. The point is, I wish that it didn't happen like that. So I want to know if Bob Quinn would have the gall to cut Calvin Johnson and say, you know what, fine. You know what, it would have been a big move. It would have been a move of strength and saying, you know what, it's time to move on. But Calvin didn't give him that opportunity.
True, and that's almost, if he would have done that, yeah, you would have seen that he had stones, but he also would have shredded a bunch of people's fandom. I mean, Calvin Johnson, as much money as he's making, I get it, but he's still probably everybody's favorite player on the team. I mean, if you look at probably the number of jerseys that come into that stadium every Sunday, the majority of them are probably Matt Stafford and then Calvin Johnson. And then Barry Sanders.
I'm going to do a poll and just see what people think initially. Because I think that if the Lions were to cut him, I really think the reaction would be about 50-50. 50% of the fans who like Calvin, who only go down to Ford Field because of him, and you say, oh, well, he's retiring, so I'm not going to go anymore. Okay, fine. But I do believe the other 50% are smart football fans that would say, you know what? At that price, if he doesn't budge, it's hurting the team and would be okay if he got cut.
It might be 50-50, but you're more than likely going to hear from all the people who are upset about it. The people who aren't upset about it, you're not going to hear from them.
You guys think that he retired because of the losing? I mean, $24 million is a lot of money to walk away from. You have to be a fool. I mean, even if you reconstruct it, it's still a lot of money to walk away from. Or is his body that beat down?
I think it's
the losing, dude.
I think it's his body.
I think it's the losing.
I do get it. It sucks. He's an 8-year veteran.
Yeah, he knows what's going on.
He's only been in 2 playoff games. But also, has he really been that great?
Yes. What?
Oh,
he's the Jerry Rice of our generation.
Are you sure he's the Jerry Rice of our generation? Let me give you some stats.
Go ahead.
You know Jerry Rice, that guy. He finished with 22,000 yards.
Doubled it, huh? He played 18
197
years.
touchdowns. Yes, and that is the thing with Jerry Rice is he played much longer. He played
for a good organization.
Yeah.
With 2 really, really good quarterbacks. And I'm talking about Rich Gannon and Jake Plummer. No, I'm just kidding.
Calvin Johnson, he played 9 years.
Damn it, Calvin.
He 11,000 yards, 83 touchdowns. And also there was an article that came out that kind of put him in comparison with some other great wide receivers at the time. And the other 3 are Larry Fitzgerald.
Give it to me.
Andre Johnson and Torrey Holt. You think you think Calvin Johnson is better than all those guys?
Torrey Holt. I think he's better than Torrey Holt. Those guys got a lot of yak. What about he catches the ball and kind of just falls.
What about Fitz and Andre Johnson though? You think he's better than those
I think
guys?
He's better than Andre Johnson. Larry Fitzgerald got a lot of yak too. Damn, Larry Fitzgerald stacked. And then
of the 4,
I see.
Of the 4,
damn, that's a hard question.
Reception wise, Calvin Johnson has the least.
Really?
Of yards, Calvin Johnson has the least. And of touchdowns, he has second most. So he's scored more touchdowns, but receptions, yards. And I think
Larry Fitzgerald got drafted 2 years before him, though. So he's been in the league 2 more years.
He has been in the
Andre
league
Johnson
longer.
got drafted the same year as Charles Rogers, right? So 2003. So he's played 4 more seasons.
They've been around, but and I get it. Calvin Johnson, I think he also leads the NFL
in
overall
the most
in like
ripped
yards
off ways
per
of
game.
scoring touchdowns and getting flags thrown on him for no reason. Yeah, I get it.
Has he ever actually won a big game for you? I know you want to put it all on Matt Stafford, but when Calvin Johnson has been in those situations, when we need to win a game, has he actually done that for us?
The saddest thing, I'm going to say this right now. The Lions were 2-10 in 2010, and they won 4 games in a row. And there was a game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Drew Stanton was the quarterback, and it was 4th down, and he hit him for like 12 yards, and he caught the ball in the corner of right before he got out of bounds. And that's about it. No. That's a good question.
And
no, he's never
out of like
when the game was on the line. Him or Stafford though.
Amazing stat wise, there was 3 really good years. He had
2012.
It was starting in 2011. He did 96 catches, over 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns. Then he had the big year, 122, 1964, only 5 touchdowns, and then followed up with 84, 1492, and 12 touchdowns. I mean, the rest of them, they're all mediocre. The most he had 13, 30, and 1. But then he's been right around like the 1,000 yards to 1,000 to 1,200 yards.
Right.
So I'm not denying that he's one of the greatest wide receivers. He's probably in the top 15 to top 20. But he didn't win a playoff game. And it's not all on Calvin Johnson.
It's not on a wide receiver to win a playoff game.
And that's not his fault. You look at Barry Sanders. How many playoff games did he actually play in? He didn't really get a chance. But
no, he
Barry
didn't.
Sanders,
He's doing the same thing that Calvin's doing.
Barry was around for longer, and he had
9 years.
He was the best in
both
the
9
game
years.
Than the entire span, pretty much.
My goodness,
it was him and Emmitt Smith. So I don't know. Tell me that I'm crazy.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100% that once the dust settles, people are now getting over the shock of the news that, okay, this is going to be similar to what Barry Sanders did. He's going to do it in a much more professional way where he's going to do it in a way that gives the Lions time, gives them a chance to prep for the draft coming up, and they can maybe look to replace him in the NFL draft or through free agency. I know some people are talking about Alshon Jeffrey, or you said Jarvi, Laquan Treadwell in the NFL draft, but in the end,
is that a first-round pick, Jarvi?
Maybe.
Dude, you're a sick human being.
He's not going to be there.
So now the question is, do you guys, with Calvin leaving, would you guys want to address the offense and wide receiver with the first couple picks?
No. You got to build your offensive lineup or get a defensive tackle.
I think, here's what I'd say. If Treadwell would be there.
If Treadwell's there.
Because I really do think that he's probably a top 10 talent.
He's slated to go top 15 at least.
If he somehow fell to us, even then I might be a little worried on taking him in the first round. Because if he does fall that far, to me that would mean that something happened and that there's some tell that why he shouldn't have been taken. So Laquan Treadwell would really need to be the right guy, and hopefully Bob Quinn's evaluators they say that yes, this guy, he's the next best thing in the wide receiver class this year. Otherwise, no. I think maybe second round, probably looking more in the third round. That's what I'd want to see from Bob Quinn.
I like Bob Quinn being at the Senior Bowl right now with all those assistants that he hired from New England. If the guy's serious, regardless of what the record is next year, they will draft interior guys, and they will pan out, and they will not flop. That's what you got to do to build successful systems. Kelvin Johnson can leave. $24 million is too much damn money. Go out and sign Alshon Jeffrey. He doesn't want to stay in Chicago. Matt Forte's leaving. What do you got, Jeremy Langford? The guy's a bum.
Before you get
the team is rebuilding. He does not want to stay there for the rebuild.
Wrapped into Alshon Jeffrey.
I got to take him.
The Bears can always franchise tag him.
Very good point.
So there's probably a good chance that they wouldn't even let the Lions talk with him. Mm-hmm. So we're probably going to be looking at some
Corey Fuller,
average guys in the next couple of years. I know
Austin Willis,
Marvin Jones from Cincinnati. He's a guy out there. He's a speedster. Kamar Aiken. That's a guy that I would really be interested in seeing. He came on this year in Baltimore, but he's another guy who I don't think the Baltimore would let him go because Steve Smith is getting old. Is he retiring this year?
No, he's coming back.
So Steve Smith's coming back, but they're
he lies. No, he's coming back. He said he's coming back again. He lied again.
Really?
He lied again.
Yeah, the way he went out with that injury.
That bastard. He tore his ACL, so he's coming back.
Well, either or, it's Kamar Aiken is probably their future there. You're going to be just filling in holes. There's no replacement for Calvin Johnson right now.
Where's the drops at when Jarvi says something spectacular? I mean, you're just fumbling the ball left and right.
Fumbling the ball.
All right, you don't have to play a drop.
Here's another thing that I want to ask both of you guys. So Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, both guys who left pretty much at their prime. Would you rather see them leave in their prime, even though they hadn't won anything, or would you rather them stay here the rest of their career and slowly decline? And just to throw out two names, I look at Emmitt Smith and Jerry Rice. Both are Hall of Famers and probably arguably the best at their positions. Emmitt Smith declined. He didn't even break the rushing record with the Cowboys. He was on the Cardinals when it happened. Mm-hmm. Jerry Rice finished his career in Oakland and Seattle. And just look in
Emmitt Smith did break the record in Dallas. I think he was playing the Seahawks.
No, he didn't. He
did.
I don't think so. I don't believe that.
He took a bunch of money to Arizona and didn't do anything with it.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, and then they drafted Beanie Wells. He broke the record in 2004 or 2003, one of the two, for the Cowboys, I remember vividly.
I don't believe you.
I swear to God in the Holy Bible.
I think we're going to have to pause and we need to check this out.
He did it in
Doc will fact check it for you guys.
I'm telling you the truth.
But what would you rather see? Would you rather him decline?
No, I would rather see him walk. The Fords deserve this. This is what they get. You keep guys around.
This isn't about the Fords.
Yes, it is. This is why he's retiring.
This isn't about. I'm not talking about the Fords. I'm talking about a fan watching your favorite player.
I want to see him come back next year, Jason. They're in bad shape.
I think the thing that we really want to see, though, is we want to see a win.
I think he deserves a playoff
If
win.
you could promise us that he could actually win something, then I would say, yeah, let him stay here until he degenerates into nothing.
I think he should play one more year and take the $24 million.
I think that's one thing you see in those guys, Jerry Rice, Emmitt Smith, where they played a while, but they won their games.
Maybe the guys are telling him, we're going to cut you if you don't retire because of the $24 million.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't know.
I really think I read something that Calvin told Jim Caldwell after the last game. He's like, hey, dude, I'm going to retire.
Oh.
And Jim Caldwell said, hey,
you're not.
He said, take your time. There's no rush on this decision. And I just think Calvin Johnson's mind was made up. You say it's because of the losing.
Hell yeah, it is. Come on, dude.
He's taking such a beating.
Hey, Coach, can I talk to you? What's going on, Kelvin? Hey, Coach, man, I've been thinking about retiring. All right. That was Kelvin talking to Jim Caldwell, courtesy of the Doc recorded earlier in the locker room in Allen Park when he was cleaning it out. Thank you, Doc.
That's hilarious. Doc, is there any update on fact checking?
It was against Seattle, and it was at Dallas in 2004.
It was Sunday, October 27th, 2002. The Cowboys faced the Seahawks at Texas Stadium. Vinny was right.
2002?
Damn, I'm on fire.
Sunday, October 27th. He was only 93 yards behind, and then he broke the record.
Yes, he did.
Well, he's still garbage.
Yeah, I agree. Barry Sanders is way better than Emmitt Smith.
But I believe this is a good thing. I think that the Lions are in need of a major overhaul, rebuild to get them to championship level.
This microphone smells like fecal matter.
And the part that's interesting that I want to point out is look at some teams that have success. You have New England, who's rolling out their Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola, and then when they go down, they still have success with guys we've never even heard of. You got Carolina, who's made a name out of Ted Ginn Jr. So do you guys think they can be successful with Golden Tate and maybe some improved offensive line play, improved defense, and maybe do something to help out Ebron and make him someone that can be productive?
Absolutely, I think so. Stafford did fine when Calvin Johnson went out for 5 games.
Do you have to replace?
Wow.
That's a lot, huh?
I am surprised that Vinny said that they could.
I watched him do it with Lombardi as the first year's offensive coordinator. Calvin Johnson played 11 games. I think they went like 4-1.
I was pretty surprised you were going to say that there is no way that the Lions could succeed.
The running game is going to suffer even more because you already can't run the ball, and now there's no threat deep. So now you're in trouble. Dude, are they going to draft a wide receiver in the first round? I'm going to walk out of here.
Not the right
They might draft a wide receiver in the first round, Jason. You need a defensive tackle, and you need to replace Riley Reeves' scrubby ass. And you better pray to God that Laken Tomlinson pans out. Oh, my God. I think they're going to have better draft. I think the draft picks are going to get better. They can't get worse. I mean, you look at, down the list. I mean, start from Matt Millen, I told you, in 2001 and to 2011. Look at who stayed. Some of the names in the second and third round from just 6 years ago. You go, who? I don't even remember who that was. That is a horrible way to run your system. It's full of flunkies. Room it out. We'll see what you got. It can't get any worse, Jason. It really can't. So, like he said, he's going to build the middle, what did he say? The middle class?
Upgrade the middle class.
Okay, he's going to upgrade the middle class. He's going to add depth and build the interior like you're supposed to do. Is it going to be hit or miss? With the track record of the forward zone and the franchise, it's going to be miss. But the sky's the limit. Then you still got Matt Stafford. I don't want to, dude. He should retire too. And say, look, we're both going to retire.
Screw the team with Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words about him retiring. It sucks, but you know what? I understand it. It has a lot to do with losing. I don't want to hear anything about it. It has a lot to do with losing.
Because your opinion is the only one that matters.
No, it's not the only thing that matters, but it's the only thing that makes any sense. I mean, listen.
It doesn't make sense that he wants to walk away and be able to live the rest of his life.
If you're walking away from $24 million,
there's more to life than money.
Something's wrong.
You
do not.
The guy has made his money.
I don't
Why
care.
does he need $24 million more dollars?
You support a team that loses every year and plays indoors.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Calvin Johnson.
And I'm telling you, he's walking away because they're scrubs and they don't care about winning. They don't give a damn. They're not concerned with winning. You do not hire a GM and keep the same guys in place. You don't. You broom everybody out and you let this guy take over.
So your opinion is the only one that matters.
Still in control. What?
So your opinion is the only one that matters.
No, but it's the truth.
It's not the truth.
What is going? Yeah. They don't won a playoff game since 1991.
Well, now to be mediator here, actually, it has to be part of it. Is that if the Lions were on the verge of a Super Bowl,
$24 million, you know, how many wieners I would squeeze.
I think he would stay.
Yeah, that's you.
But
he doesn't need the money.
That's a good point.
But it's part of the formula. Health. He's got money. The Lions are not a great organization.
They're not.
No.
Oh, Jason, what do you got to say about that? Like his hair's getting
No,
rare.
I say both of you are right, and everybody that talks about
I take it back. You've given me probably
half of
a
them.
quarter of
What have I ever done wrong? I've always just tried.
No,
I get it.
Actually, both of you are right.
Yeah, you try, just like the Lions.
But I lose, just like the Lions. Like Martin Mayhew's like my buddy.
It's all part of it. If the Lions were good, I don't think he'd be retiring. If the Lions were consistently in the playoffs,
God, I am the Martin Mayhew of podcasting.
No, I didn't say you were right, Vinny. I said that you are part of your reasoning is right. And part of Jason's reasoning is right. But do you guys recall that video of when Green Bay hit that Hail Mary and him just falling to his knees? That had to take a toll on him, all that losing. And the fact is, when you look at
it has nothing to do with it, Jason, right?
No, it does. When you look at all, he's got $100 million in the bank, and he wants to be he wants to be healthier, and the Lions aren't that good.
You're going to find out in 5 years. You're going to say, "Look, dude, I walked away because they don't care about winning." Just like Barry Sanders.
No, he won't say that.
Yes, he will.
He's too classy.
So was Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is too classy too when he eventually came out and said it. They're not concerned with winning playoff games. I'm sorry, they're not. Okay, on a lighter note, you want to go to break and talk about the Pistons and the Red Wings, the pros and cons of length of girth?
Let's talk about
Jason, come on, man. Cheer up. You're going to go 7-9 next year. Everything's going to be fine.
The Super Bowl coming up. Yep. Well, it's no sad, no happy.
John,
it's
get
the Super Bowl.
Before we get to break, the quick poll that we did, I asked on Twitter at Detroit Podcast, if Calvin Johnson was not retiring, would you have been furious if the Lions cut him due to salary cap ramifications? 68% said yes, they would be. 32% said no, they would not be.
32% are smart. Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.com.
Doc here for FanaticU.com, Detroit Sports official outfitter and the official outfitter of the Detroit Sports Podcast Network. I want you out there, if you're interested in buying any Detroit sports gear, go visit our friends at FanaticU.com. They have great gear for all the sports. Right now, it's a little bit colder out. They have great knitted hats for the Tigers, Lions, Red Wings. Go check out the wide selection of items you can buy at FanaticU.com. And when you check out, use the promo code DSP. Don't forget, when you check out, apply a promo code DSP, and you'll see that 15% will be taken off your entire order. Everything at all that you purchase, even items that are already on sale, you'll save 15% off. So go visit our friends at FanaticU.com, use that promo code DSP, and save 15% off your entire order. FanaticU.com, Detroit Sports, official outfitter. And now back to Jarvi and Stubbs on the Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
This is Erica from Lake Point Yacht Club. When I'm not picking up Vinny Stubbs off the floor, I'm listening to the Motor City Sports Rant.
Detroit basketball!
Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.com. Pistons are tied 39-39 with the Brooklyn Nets.
What's the score? 39-39?
Damn it, dude. Yeah. Playing on Yankees access. It's tied. They just lost 2 games in a row. As you know, Jason the King Jarvi.
Yeah, it was not good.
Nice prediction, fellas.
I said 1-1. I was off by 1.
1-1. It would have been nice to see. And I don't think I couldn't have predicted that they would have fell flat both of those games.
Mm-hmm.
I get Cleveland. Cleveland was coming out. They need something to prove. They have a new coach, and they want to be the best in the East. But Toronto,
they had other ideas.
They kind of hammered us. I think they actually are going to, they might challenge Cleveland.
I don't think so because they don't win playoff series. They just don't know how to do it. Like the Cubs and the Lions.
Do you think that they could at least become the first seed in the East?
The Raptors? Yeah.
Overtake the Cavs? Because it's not like they're playing the Cavs every night. I think Toronto, they've been playing really good basketball. They have 2 really good guys in Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any reason because the Cavs... Yeah, they have it some nights, but some nights they're just completely off.
Right.
I could see Toronto. It's going to be close between both of them.
I think it could be close, but Cleveland's going to be the number 1 overall seed. That's the way it is.
But after those 2 losses, the Detroit Pistons, they now stand at 8th in the East. I'm a little worried.
The Pistons?
Yeah.
Don't listen. You can't worry. They're going to go to the playoffs because the 9th seed's like 4 games under 500. As long as they can stay above 500 in the East, you're going to go to the playoffs.
No, they're only they're 3 games away from being, or they're
in third place.
No, they're 3 games away from being in 12th place. Like if they're on a thin edge right now. They got 6 games before the All-Star break. I would hope that they can at least go 4. I think they play Toronto again. I'd like to see them at least go 4-2. I mean,
the 9th seed's the Hornets. They're 23-25 or 25-23. We'll beat Brooklyn tonight. They got to beat Brooklyn tonight. Oh, my God. They're 12-36. If they lose to Brooklyn, there is really no leadership in there. I don't care if they're on the road or not. You cannot lose to the Brooklyn Nets. They're 12-36.
They've already lost to them before on the road.
Who? This year?
The Pistons, yeah.
Well, damn. Well, they've only gotten better. I mean, you're playing... You were just beating the hell out of these teams. It's the Eastern Conference. They suck. Get it together, man. Your defense is shit. Garbage. You give up on average 96 points a damn night. It's atrocious. I get it. The defense, you're a young team. You're going to struggle defensively. You got Andre Drummond. He's missing, he's shooting 35% from the free throw line. There's no leadership. I get it, but you're above 500 and you got Stan Van Gundy as your head coach. Play for the damn guy. Someone step up and do something in the locker room, whether it be Jennings or Jackson. One of those two assholes got to get traded because there's a lot that is causing turmoil in the locker room, and I know it. It's got to be. It's the only thing that makes sense. If Jennings is going out and telling the media there's no leadership, he's going to trade me because I'm a starter. Jackson.
My biggest question after those two losses, if they only go 500 into the All-Star break, they might be. Are they slipping away this year?
No, they'll get into the playoffs.
I think it's going to be close. We've both been saying that they're a slightly above average team, but I think as a slightly
they just got
above
smoked
average
by two powerhouse teams.
Slightly above average is pretty close to below average.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be really tight.
Did you? Where are you?
No. Listen,
that is good.
I get your hilarity, Vinny. But a point that I want to bring up is a point that I think was brought up on this podcast and others on the network. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, I think Adam brought up on our podcast, is someone that needs to kind of step up and be that third wheel and be someone that can add additional scoring for the Pistons. And now he's dealing with a sore oblique muscle. Reggie Jackson's a little bit off. I think I read in the paper that he's dealing with hydration issues and things like that. So their backcourt is ailing a little bit. Their defense is not as good, and you guys are seeing what happens. Now, Jason, I know you're worried, and I know that you're a little bit concerned, and you have every right to be, 100%. But you got to look at it. The last two games, they played the top teams in the East, and you would like to at least get a split from that. But, dude, did you see how Cleveland was playing? They were clicking on all cylinders. They wanted to prove a point. Mm-hmm. And then they played Toronto less than 24 hours later at a really ridiculous start time, and they played horrible on
6
defense.
o'clock?
6:30, I think.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So now you're right. This game, as we're recording this against Brooklyn, we definitely need to win. But right now, the Pistons need to kind of get back to playing better on defense, get back to better health, and really get back to getting above 500 and not being in the 8th seed. Mm-hmm. You want to be 5th, 6th. You don't want to be 8th. And Jason, you're absolutely right. But do you think that they can get back based on what you're seeing?
Yeah, they just got blown out by two powerhouses in the Eastern Conference. Those two teams are the only two teams that are going to be there at the end in the Eastern Conference.
So you're not as worried?
No, the Pistons, they're not that good yet. They're young, and they have no defense. I think Stan Van Gundy can get it together.
What they do in
they're
these
2 years away.
What they do in these next couple games, leading into the All-Star break, that's what's going to tell it to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's on the schedule? Can one of you look it up?
See I'll take a look real quick.
Who's up after Brooklyn? I know that
they have the Raptors. I want to say that they have the Knicks as well.
Oh my God, Toronto's coming to Detroit. How come every time we get on a roll and we're like 4 or 5 games over 500, we got to go on the road? God, I just stay home. I'm tired of it. I mean, every 5 seconds I turn around and go, damn, the Pistons are 4 or 5 games over 500? Oh, they're going out west.
But Vinny, while Jason looks it up, you got me a little bit confused.
You should be confused.
I'm confused.
Crackhead Bob just died. Everyone's confused in here.
You seem a little bit frustrated, but at the same time, you say that this is what the Pistons should look like with a young team and things like that. What's the basis of your frustration?
If you told me they'd be 2 games over 500 at this point of the season, I'd say I'd take it.
So why are you so mad?
Because there's no leadership. Why did you sign Reggie Jackson for 4 years at $80-something million if he's not going to be a leader? The guy needs to be a damn leader and step up. I don't care how young he is. They need depth, and they need leadership, and they don't have it. I don't even care that you're not going to be the 04 Pistons or the 88, 89, 90 Pistons on defense. If you're gonna be known for your offense, be known for your offense, but have a damn leader. If Reggie Jackson isn't a leader, then get rid of his ass. I don't care if you put Brandon Jennings. I don't care if you keep Jennings over Jackson. I don't. It's not going to happen. But damn, someone step up and be a leader. I don't even care if it's Andre Drummond. I don't even if
it's not Jackson.
If Darko Milicic wants to come back from England, wherever the hell he's at, and come here and be a leader.
If it's not Jackson,
next to Mason on the microphone, then do it.
If it's not Jackson, who could it be? If it's not Reggie Jackson,
it's not going to be Drummond. You can already tell it.
He's not Drummond. Not
Marcus
Jackson.
Morris. I don't know. I have no idea. Somebody has to step up. Someone that is in here long term, because you don't even know if Drummond's going to come here next year. He's going to be a free agent, isn't he? Someone might offer him 10 times more money. He might just leave. He might not even be here next year.
Coming up after Brooklyn, they have at Boston.
It's 48-48.
They're better. They're home against the Knicks.
Win.
The game after.
Win. That's 2 wins in a row.
February 4th. Oh, so you think
they'll beat Boston?
Knicks,
Boston sucks.
Win-win.
It's always come on. It's always a tough game, but one you got to watch though for sure. They always play. Boston's been playing us tough too.
Knicks is actually it's a national game on TNT.
Oh yeah, on TNT.
Really? They
finally give the Pistons respect, and they're playing the Knicks. What's that?
At Indiana.
That's gonna be tough, but they've gotten a win there too.
Yeah. Home against Toronto.
Loss.
and then home against Denver.
I'm seeing 500.
I just lost to Denver.
I'm just seeing 500 along the way. I don't see that.
I see 500 too.
So, I mean, right now they're 25-23.
They beat the Celtics and the Pacers earlier this year, but I think they lost to them too.
Yeah.
500.
I mean, they have tough games still on the schedule after that.
Mm-hmm.
They come back from the All-Star break going up against Washington. Yeah, New Orleans, Cleveland, Toronto, San Antonio still, Portland.
Right. I think we're getting just too carried away. I think they're just a young team, and they're the 6th through 8th seed in the East. I don't know what the hell else you want me to say.
I don't know. I think because the East is so tight this year, I just think it's further. It's be somewhere between the 6th and the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could finish in the 5th spot, but I think they could just as easily finish
and then
12th or 13th.
Oh, not the 13th.
They might. It's a young team.
The Bucks are 9 games.
If they fall apart, what if they do at the trade deadline? Send Brandon Jennings, and Brandon Jennings was actually probably the guy with the most heart on the team right now.
Mm-hmm. He's playing like it.
Now, there's rumors that they're looking at Ryan Anderson, a guy that can really shoot well from the forward position. But the problem is, and Stan Van Gundy makes a great point, is in terms of the rebuilding process, they don't want to give up a guy like Brandon Jennings for a guy that's going to be a unrestricted free agent that could just leave. They don't want to bring in rentals. The problem is, though, you need additional scoring. You need another guy at the forward position that can help out because Ersan Ilyasova, he's done great, but he could also, you could also upgrade at that position. So
we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
We said Stanley Johnson. He needs to be the guy.
He needs to start.
But again, you're not going to count on him.
Oh my God, the Pistons are down by 5.
You're not going to count on him in a postseason series.
Oh.
So you're going to have to step up. But the problem is, it's going to be up to Stan Van Gundy to go out there and scour the landscape for a guy that can come in here and help the team out. And the guy that's most likely going to be on the trade block is Brandon Jennings, but who else? So it's a catch-22, and it's going to be interesting to see. I can't wait for the trade deadline to see if because the Pistons are rumored to be very active in the market. So I think they do need to upgrade. As is, if they stay the same, you're looking at a team that's probably 6 to 8 seed, early round exit, the way they're playing right now. So that's definitely a reason to panic.
They're going to be an early exit. No, there's no question about it.
But
just get into the damn playoffs.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way.
You guys do that to me. What are you talking about?
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Who is that?
That was Michael Scott from The Office.
Oh, very nice. Well, I'm panicking just like you, Jason.
I am panicking, and I don't think it's going to subside.
No hope in sight. Yeah, no hope in sight. And now, Vinny, every time we try to bring up something positive, you keep saying that the Pistons are losing to Brooklyn. Change it up.
What's the score now? Are they down by
55 to 50?
Still down by 5.
Oh, let me see. I just refreshed the button. Here it goes. Yep, 55 to 50. And I'm going to the bathroom and masturbating.
Did you see Andre going after that guy in the stands? So some dude was...
And those games... What's that?
Some dude in the stands at the Palace was like making gestures at him, and he went after him and kind of got pissed. Andre's getting heckled because of his free throws. And
well, he should, damn it. I mean, you're a professional athlete. You're shooting 35%. It's probably even lower now.
Do you have some pros and cons?
I have pros and cons. Do you want to do a pro?
I can probably think of something.
You can start off with the pros.
Hold on, though. 1 second.
And then the Lions.
Hit us with that great music.
The Pistons got blown out by both those teams. I don't care what the score says. All right, time for pros and cons brought to you by Brassers.
I'm going to start with cons. And my cons is the Pistons. Losing Toronto, Cleveland, you need to win one of those games. I mean, I could also go with Megatron retiring, but...
Son of a bitch, don't look at my paper.
I'm not 100% sure if that is a con, though. It's more in the middle. But I will go with the Pistons. Stop sucking.
Okay, first of all, John, you're going to have to put your shirt back on. I know this song is just so brilliant. But my con is Calvin Johnson leaving the cesspool. That is Detroit. Barry Sanders did it. And they drafted a wide receiver in 2007 by the name of Calvin Johnson. Was ripped off in so many ways. And he really was Megatron. And I want to go home and watch Megatron on cartoons. God damn it, Detroit Lions.
My pro, though,
oh, you son of a bitches.
My pro.
You son of a bitches.
He's going to be everybody's pro. Dylan Larkin of the Red Wings. He had himself a nice weekend, a nice all-star weekend. Started off with, he became the fastest skater ever in an all-star competition, right?
I saw that.
right?
He got 3
a-
assists.
After nearly falling.
Yeah,
Come on now.
it was crazy. How much faster would he have been? He had a couple sweet goals in the breakaway, and then he had 3 assists in the game. They didn't actually win it, but was that rigged at all? Was that rigged so John Scott could get some money?
Who knows?
Man, that was an unbelievable story. It turned out in his favor. He got a minivan, won MVP. Hey, and even if it was rigged, what a great story for a guy that's a journeyman to get the spotlight, to get carried off, and treated like an MVP. It's just nice to see.
Good for you, Jack.
Good for you,
What
Scott.
about you, Vinny? What's your pro?
I got the same thing. Pistons are down by 3. I got Dylan Larkin, too. He's not Steve Yzerman.
Stop reading my mind.
He's not Steve Yzerman at all. This is what I wrote down.
He's not Steve Eisenbart.
No, but he's my pro. 3 assists in the All-Star game. Larkin stats halfway through the season. 15 goals, 18 assists, and 33 points. Yzerman, his first year. 39 goals, 48 assists, 87 points. You come close to it. Different era, different time. Not Steve Yzerman, but a bright spot. And my pro on the pros. And coming on down to the stage, John Macaroon. John Macaroon.
John Macaroon to the stage.
Tip your waiter 45%. Motor City Sports. I hate those people so much. All right, it's that time.
It's not that time yet. We got to take another break.
Oh, shit.
We're going to talk some Super Bowl, and then we'll have the best segment that we have.
Yes, Length of Girth on Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.com.
Thank you very much, Vinny, giving out the great website, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. It's the location you go to download all the fine podcasts on the network. From the Hindsight 20 with Jerry Mallory to Motor City Sports Rant, Tigers Talk with Churko and Company, Doc and Jock, the one-on-one interview series, Detroit Sports Countdown, Fantasy Nerds. We have a platform that allows us to do great sports podcasts talking about Detroit sports and other things. And thanks to your support, by visiting our website, DetroitSportsPodcast.com, we're able to keep these microphones hot, keep the office on, afford our cell phones so that we can do Periscope videos of our man, Vinny Stubbs. We greatly appreciate all the support for everyone out there that's been downloading, messaging us at our Twitter page at Detroit Podcast. We just can't thank you guys enough for showing us the love and support that helps keep us doing this week in, week out. We've done well over 300 podcasts on the network with strong support, and bigger and better things are coming down the line. Visit us, support us, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. And now back to Jarvi and Stubbs, Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
It's me, Mario.
We're gonna skate to one song only.
My ball so hard. Motor City Sports Rant. Ball so hard. My balls are so hard. Yeah.
How hard are they?
Well, my balls are as hard as bricks. I got a really tiny dick, and I'll put it inside your boyfriend's ass. I'm just kidding. Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.
Should I keep that in there, Vinny?
Wow.
I don't care. Do whatever you want. No one's listening to me anyway.
Nah, I beg to
I'm on
differ.
the AM now, talking to thin air.
AM 690.
AM 3570, the tranny. And now, some guy you've never heard of.
Wait, so before you guys get to the best segment and talking about the Super Bowl and stuff like that, yes. Vinny, did you check out the Dwarf Tossing?
No, I've been busy.
When you saw that link I sent you,
I saw it. I chuckled. It was funny.
it made news. Did you hear?
It offended a bunch of sissies. I saw it. Yes.
An adult entertainment club in Michigan hired a professional who goes around to clubs and he provides, like, he gets a mat, gets everything situated, and for a price, like $10-15, you can toss a dwarf as far as you can, enter a contest.
Right.
And then all the human rights people were like, why would you do that? This is a paid guy. This is what he does.
What's the issue here?
Yeah, the issue is that, people are PC, like Vinny and I were talking about a little bit. Too much PC going on, and they don't want dwarf tossing at clubs.
If the guy wants, it's not like they're doing it against his will.
Right, exactly.
It's not like they're going out and like kidnapping a dwarf and then throwing him.
He is a professional.
He wants it.
It's like the Wolf of Wall Street. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
They did that in there. They also did a lot more crazy stuff
God,
too.
he's a lucky man. What was that guy's name? Wolf? DiCaprio. Man, my goodness gracious. Whoever that guy played.
Margot Robbie was...
Dude, we're never going to amount to anything in life. I mean, these guys are living the lifestyle. I took a girl out this week to go out to drink. Dude, she was strung out on Xanax, and she was passed out on the patio in the back of the bar. I mean,
why?
Good question. And I mean, these guys, they're just living the life and rubbing it right in my
sure
face.
It's not flip flopped? Because that promo you had saying that lady's picking you up off the floor.
Picking me up off what floor?
That
was a different time.
Oh, okay.
Different place and different setting.
Different place, different time, different drunken night.
God, people are such liars.
But
pick me up off the floor.
Do you want to do a contest or do a?
I'm down for whatever.
Do you want to do a search for your next date on our Twitter platform?
No, I don't want to date anybody anymore. I don't want to date anymore. I got a hand and I can spank with the best of them. I mean, I got calluses.
Do you want to start a Vinny tossing competition?
If you would like to.
If we could, that'd be kind of fun. Maybe 2 men enter and
2 men in a sack. It's macaroon.
The sackaroon.
Macaroon can broadcast it with his shirt off.
You guys are talking about the Super Bowl. I just watched.
What?
Do you know who asked Peyton Manning a question? Batman or Robin just asked Peyton Manning a question. I just seen it on the screen there. That was
what
pretty
did they
funny.
Ask?
I don't know. I couldn't. I don't have any volume on, but Gary Kubiak's now on the screen on the NFL kickoff on the NFL Network. But Batman or someone dressed with a mask just asked Peyton Manning a question at Media Day.
That's how my hairline's going to look in a couple of years.
Gary Kubiak looking strong.
He's in bad shape.
We could have had him.
He would have turned us down. He wins.
But
I didn't think his heart's going to hold up in the Super Bowl. He might have a heart attack.
Oh.
It's gonna be an interesting game. Panthers Broncos coming up on Sunday.
Yes.
There's a lot of storylines here. But what would you say? Who are the key players that you're gonna look at for each team?
First of all, I'm going to try my hardest not to look at Cam Newton's attire before the game. And second of all, Cam Newton.
I think people should know how I feel about Cam Newton. Or did I said we talked about it last week, didn't we?
You're not a fan, right?
I said he was a douchebag, and it's not about his race or anything with that. I just kind of feel like he's a douche.
He is a douche, and I don't like the way he talks. He's very boastful. He's going to win this game, and they're going to cover. They're going to cover. They're favored. They're going to beat the living hell out of Denver. I don't like Cam Newton. Oh, I'm black and I'm blah, blah, blah. Donovan McNabb with the 6 NFC championship games and went to a Super Bowl. You are a bitch. You ain't nothing yet, dude. You need to keep your damn mouth shut. Yeah, that guy was a professional. He never talked like that.
He has a long way to go, and I feel like
you haven't done anything yet. Talk all that shit when you win.
Cam Newton's had an easier road there, too. Carolina has pretty much embraced him.
Right.
When they drafted Donovan McNabb, they booed him. Did you boo?
I didn't even know who he was. I was like 9 years old.
You're too young. You just go, Eagles.
Yeah, I was too young.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I started watching football in 2000. I was 10 years old. McNabb got drafted the year before. They were 6-4, and then they beat the Buccaneers and they lost the Giants.
Other key players on the Panthers.
That was my life has been shitty. What?
I think Jonathan Stewart should play a pretty big part in this game because the Denver defense is pretty solid, and they're gonna have probably some pretty good success against Ted Ginn and whoever else is a wide receiver. So Jonathan Stewart, I think, he's going to be a big part in this game. I think they're going to try and run some draws to kind of counteract Denver with their edge rushers.
Mm-hmm.
I think a guy you got to also look out for is a guy that's become Cam Newton's security blanket, Greg Olsen. The tight ends, in the league are becoming very, very prominent, and that's why the Lions took someone at 10. They took the wrong guy. But Greg Olsen,
who Ebron?
Yeah,
you talk like that around Jarvi.
A lot of people are talking like, hey, can we get Ebron to be Jimmy Graham? Can we get him to be Rob Gronkowski? Damn, can we just get him to be Greg Olsen? You see what he's done this year for Cam? Dude, I think if you're going to look for an unsung hero, he has played great this year.
Kyle Rudolph at this point.
Kyle Rudolph.
Be Kyle Rudolph. You don't have to be
Greg Olsen. If you have a bold prediction, I guess I would say he could have a couple touchdowns this game.
Dude, if I have my tax money by the Super Bowl, which I probably should, I'm going to put $500 on Carolina.
Really?
How much are you actually going to win though? Aren't they favored?
I win $500 and I lose $550. They're favored.
Yeah, so I
just double my money, but I lose 50 if they lose. They're going to beat the living hell out of them. Peyton Manning's done. He threw 9 touchdowns in a regular season. I mean,
he didn't play the entire season. Also, he was injured and
so
somewhat
what?
benched.
He sucks ass. He threw. If he didn't play the Lions, he would only threw 7 touchdowns this year.
But they have a good defense.
Do you remember what Seattle did to them 2 years ago? Are they better or are they worse than they were 2 years ago?
The defense is better.
Carolina's defense might not be better, but their offense is better than Seattle's.
Yeah, but I think that's where it's going to be. I think it's going to be a defensive battle.
See, the other thing is if they shut down Ted Ginn, what's Cam Newton going to do?
Greg Olsen. And they have
about Greg Olsen.
They have some other people, like I said, Jonathan Stewart. It's really it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's going to be a really defensive battle.
You say that, but Arizona had a defense, and Bruce Arians is a whiz. They got their balls sucked right off their limbs.
I don't know. I think Denver's defense is a bit better. They got Aqib Talib. They have
TJ
all
Ward,
those
Von Miller.
edge rushers.
Hey, man, you ain't bullshit.
It's like That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see if they could actually get to Cam Newton. If they can bring him down, then they're gonna. I think they're gonna have some success. So that's really where it's going to be. I think the big key players are going to be on the defensive side of the ball. You look at Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, Aqib Talib trying to shut down the secondary. And then on Carolina, Luke Kuechly, pretty much all those guys. Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis. How much of an impact is that going to be? He has a broken arm.
That's the Super Bowl, dude.
I know. Josh Norman, he had his coming out party this year.
Yes, he did.
So I'm not sure. I think it's kind of like the Cardinals
Carolina
game.
wins, and it's in a convincing fashion.
Now, Vinny, I know you're saying that you're just fully confident that Cam
They're
Newton's going to do it.
one-dimensional, and Peyton Manning's arm is withered.
But now, do you not take into account, or maybe just think that maybe in Cam Newton's first Super Bowl, he might get nervous, maybe makes a couple mistakes, and that Denver defense could capitalize on it, and then all they got to do is put forth a significant performance on defense, carry Peyton Manning to a Super Bowl. If they can get maybe a 2017 win,
he's not
if they can eke it out,
calm down.
do you not take into account potentially that the defense could step up even another notch? Cam Newton being in his first Super Bowl,
Yes, and I'll tell you
Denver
why.
wins it.
The only reason why I agree with you is because I'm putting money on it. And whenever I put money on, the complete opposite happens. If you guys want to make a lot of money this week, put all your money on Denver. Because whatever I say is wrong.
I say it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I would take Denver in the points, but with Carolina winning.
So you want to talk a little bit about Peyton Manning, though?
Oh, dude,
with
done.
this, yeah, I think he is done. I think this is his last year. But he is one of the best quarterbacks of probably all time, right? Top, at least in the top 10, if not the
in
top
my
5.
lifetime.
In our lifetime,
Yeah,
definitely.
top,
like all time,
he might be the best.
Does he need to win this game and win a second Super Bowl to really secure his legacy?
No, and he's not going to.
Because if he loses, he's 1-3, right, John?
1-3.
It'll make him 2-2. He still would have lost 2 Super Bowls, but I kind of think that he does need it. And I feel like if they don't win, I think he's going to come back next year. I really want him to win and just retire. But I don't.
You want him to win? You think that they really have a shot to win that game? Cam Newton has to throw like 5 interceptions.
He could. I think Cam Newton.
Damn, you're not kidding.
Cam Newton isn't that far removed from being not that great of a pocket passer. How much of it is him basically just running around until Ted Ginn gets open, and that's not in any. I don't know. I think you're turning on John. John, put your shirt back on. I really think he needs to win, and I think it would be the best story of the Super Bowl if he won. He could walk away,
right,
and we wouldn't have to hear about him anymore. On the other side with Cam Newton, do you think this is really him, ascending to being one of the top quarterbacks for the remainder of his career, or is he gonna drop off in a few years?
Newton's gonna drop off. Newton will drop off. He's having an excellent season. And you got to credit Ernie Accorsi for keeping Ron Rivera and keeping that team together, get that GM. Oh, my God. Cam Newton's not a flash in the pan. He's better than Dante Culpepper, and he's not better than McNabb. Dude, McNabb has played so many damn important games. Cam Newton's on the rise. He's not going to be a joke, but he's not going to be like an all-time great
He could be Donovan McNabb. I think he's early in his career.
He's way more athletic than McNabb.
Oh, and that's what I'm saying, is I think he could be as good as McNabb, because you look at them, they kind of have similar track records. McNabb didn't really have anybody to throw to.
No, he never did. And when he did, he was a cancer.
He was still able to succeed, and that's kind of what Cam Newton does. You look at Dante Culpepper, he was throwing the ball to Randy Moss and Chris Carter. He had great guys around him. That's why he was doing so good.
Yeah, when Chris Carter retired, he didn't
You put
do
him on
anything.
Miami, you put him on the Lions, Dante Culpepper. He's not not doing his arm thing.
You could put anybody on the Lions, and they ain't going to do anything. He played for Oakland, too, for a second.
So, I'll save this for the picks, but actually,
Newton,
there's only one pick. Who's going to win?
Carolina by 10.
Carolina by
10 plus.
John.
10 plus.
Listen, I'm old school. I want someone in their first Super Bowl to prove it to me. So I'm going Denver. I like Denver in the defense. I'm a guy, old school. I like Denver and what Peyton Manning do. I think they're going to try to carry him out. And you guys, like I said, discount. You guys are going with the whole talent thing, and you're going with what your eyes see. But I also like the psychological factor. I think Peyton Manning, if he wants to play a trump card, Thursday, Friday this week, has a meeting, tells everybody, I'm done. And that might just be enough, because in a game of inches, something in terms of extra motivation might just be enough to carry him.
Win one for the Gipper.
Win one for the Peyton. Denver.
Dude, you are on acid, bro. No way. Go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry for cutting you
that
off.
6-inch sub you're gonna give me is gonna taste so
Dude,
good.
I'll put my
Denver
6-inch
plus
penis
4
on your
and a half.
forehead.
I'm gonna eat it slowly in front of you at a podcast recording.
You'll put it all in your mouth at once?
I'm gonna put it all in my mouth at once.
Maybe slap it on Vinny's face?
How come when I talk in real life I talk like this, but on the podcast I talk like this?
I don't know.
I think it's like a nervous thing.
It might be.
I sound like Kim Kniff.
A lot of times with the Lions, I pick with my heart. I try to pick with my head.
Why is everything
Why?
gotta go by- Listen, keep the lines out of your mouth for like 2 minutes, please.
Okay.
Just try. Take a deep breath and go.
So when I...
That's why your hair is so damn great.
Yeah, that's part of it,
It
too.
is great, Jason. We're
When
not
I
gonna
start to
bullshit
think
ourselves.
about, I try to think about this game, and I really would like to see the Denver Broncos win, if only for Peyton Manning to get him another Super Bowl win, because he is one of the best of all time. I'd like to see him win another one. You know, I think he kind of got jobbed in that New Orleans Super Bowl.
No.
The Caldwell
that
effect.
Sean Payton was
Sean Payton.
solidified.
I get
John
it.
Caldwell.
But I wanted him to win that one too. So I wanted him to win this
I
game.
was going for New Orleans.
but-
You like the AFC over the NFC, man? Come on, you're sickening. I get it,
I
Carolina.
don't like the
but-
Who Dat and Drew Brees. Whatever.
Oh man,
Back
they
to
were
this game.
phenomenal.
I want Denver to win, but I can't pick against the Panthers. I got to go with my head. I think the Panthers, they have too much. It's the same way that I felt about Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Arizona had the chance.
No.
I thought they had a chance to stay in it, and they proved me wrong. And I really think that that's what the case. What's going to be for the Super Bowl.
Right.
So I'm going to pick Carolina.
You got to pick Carolina, man. You don't have a choice.
Oh no,
John, you picking Denver is borderline criminal. Like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, everything that you've ever said, how many episodes have you done? 110? You are discredited for every good point you've ever made just from sitting here taking Denver. I mean, get your head examined.
But anyways,
They are in the Super Bowl. They are a team that's playing well.
if
on
that was at
defense.
Foxborough, you wouldn't be singing that same song.
besides the point,
Oh my God, I never thought I'd hear it. Jason, the King Jarvi. I hope you came up with a better question number 3, because this is question number 1. But
what
I got
is
2.
this segment?
Length or girth?
Oh,
Question
boy.
number 1.
I'm ready.
I know
I'm
you
excited.
are. You're about to cry.
I'm talking loud.
The Detroit Lions, without a prolific, and I mean prolific, superstar. Last time, the drought was 9 seasons from Barry to Kelvin. I'm going to break my phone. Length or girth?
This is kind of a difficult one to judge.
Ugh.
Because here's what I'm gonna say. What would be girth to you? Like, what would be a girth? I'm not
5+ seasons.
5+ seasons. Then I'd say girth,
I'm getting real nervous.
because I think that's about it. You're getting Bob Quinn, and
We are.
hopefully he is a better judge of players. And I think somewhere in this 5-year span, I think he's gonna find at least one prolific player, because I think it's almost impossible. I mean, we've seen the impossible happen.
No, we have
with
so
Martin
many
Mayhew
times.
and Matt Millen, of finding one person. I think Bob Quinn will find at least one prolific player.
Come on,
It's
Bob.
not that hard.
Come on, Bobby.
So I'm going to take Girth on that.
I'm going to have to take girth too. I mean, Bobby Q. Let's get it together. Damn it. Calvin Johnson is breaking so many hearts. And I'm one of them. I feel
That was,
he's such a classy man.
I guess looking back on the other drafts,
You ball suckers!
was Charles Rogers, was he like...
The biggest
Was
bust
he,
in NFL history?
Was he considered like...
No, Trent Richardson was.
Should he have gone where we took him? John,
I don't know.
Man.
If he didn't, if the Raiders would have picked him up, if we didn't.
I hate to stereotype, but when you did his background and he had some issues at Michigan State, he wasn't like squeaky clean.
Dude, he's smoking crack with Jeff Smoker.
Yeah, I felt like they should have did more homework in terms of the background. The talent,
Well,
yes.
Matt Millen just had a hunch.
Yeah, the talent, he had potential, but I think the evaluation should have been done further in terms of his background, what he was doing behaviorally, and you would have figured out that he wasn't someone that was going to last too much longer in the league.
Question number 2, the Pistons are getting defecated on, and it's not even funny anymore. I don't even know what the score is with Brooklyn. That doesn't matter. Question number 2, the Pistons getting triple digits scored on them. Length of Earth. They're getting 100 points plus scored on him in every game, and it's driving me insane.
I'm going to go Girth here. I think until they actually learn how to play defense, but it's going to be Girth. It's going to be length.
Okay.
I think they're going to have 100 points scored on them for a while.
I'd take length and girth. I mean, this is who they are. They're not known for their defense. Hell, just do your job on offense and get a damn leader. Put in. Reggie, I'm talking to you. You're the leader. Lead the damn team and quit ball hogging so much. Take notes from Billups. Hopefully when he retires his jersey on the 10th, you'll look at him and study him. I mean, dude, calm your ass down. Quit rushing everything into the paint and missing half the time. What?
Quit ball hogging.
Quit ball hogging. We got enough ball hogging in this room. Hog both these guys' balls.
Quit ball hogging.
Dribbling balls my whole life. Jarvi, you got question number 3. I'm going length and girth. I guess I'm going to take length. I agree with you.
Question number 3 of length or girth. The Super Bowl this Sunday. How long is it going to be a competitive game?
Ooh.
I think both you and me think that Carolina's going to win.
Oh my goodness.
And I kind of feel like there's going to be a breaking point. Do you think that's going to come sooner or later, length or girth?
Knowing Carolina, they get off to a quick start and they beat the living hell out of you. And then they take their foot off the brake. Off the gas and put it on the brake. And this is going to be no different. I mean, it's going to start off at halftime. It's going to be 27-10. And you're going to be watching TBS. And then they're going to take their foot off the gas. And they're going to win by 10. But they'll make it look interesting. I'm going to say 34-24.
So...
Length.
So it's going to be
length until the fourth quarter, and then they're just going to lose by 10.
I think this game could be Girth. I really see...
Pull it out and show me and prove it.
It could be bad. Like the Cardinals game was bad. God. I think it could be that bad. I think they could get up early, and then Denver's going to be desperate. They don't have much of a run game, so Peyton Manning's going to have to throw with his noodle of an arm. I could see, I'm going to predict Josh Norman has a pick 6. And
what about Kuechly?
I don't want to predict 2 pick 6s, but I'm going to.
Bold prediction.
2
pick 6s, Carolina.
They're going to win
and
by
in a blowout.
24.
Oh.
If Peyton Manning took HGH, does he deserve to have his vertebrae shattered on live television?
Maybe.
Nope.
I'm looking at the draft where we drafted Charles Rogers.
Yes.
It's just so bad. There's so many.
Get those balls shaved in no time.
There's a ton of good players in the first round. Like nowadays, you don't see like that many players coming out of the first round.
Right.
Carson Palmer won first overall. Andre Johnson went after Charles Rogers. And then Terrence Newman.
Ooh, he's good.
Kevin Williams, defensive tackle.
Minnesota?
Yep.
I like
Terrell Suggs. Marcus Trufant.
Marcus Trufant was the man in Seattle.
Troy Polamalu. Willis McGahee. Dallas Clark. Larry Johnson. Nnamdi Asamoah.
Oh my God!
What year is this?
This is 2003. This is all the
these
first
are some
round.
Good players,
now
man.
here's in the second round. Again, we picked
Who'd the Lions get?
We picked Boss Bailey in the second round.
For a couple years.
Right after Boss Bailey, Charles Tillman.
Peanut Tillman.
Wow.
Rasheed Mathis, E.J. Henderson.
You got Charles Tillman.
Mathis is the man.
Anquan Bolden.
Oh my God.
Ossie Manure in the second round.
No.
There's so many. How did we not pick anybody?
Charles Johnson, Boss Bailey.
Matt Millen.
Nice
Take a
revisiting
deep
that.
breath and quit beating yourself over a losing franchise.
Makes me so upset.
All right, let's get out here on a happy note. What's the best Super Bowl meal or Super Bowl treat you ever had?
Oh, shit. Food or game? Dude,
food.
I don't know. Pizza and beer. Come on, dude. You can't go wrong.
Super Bowl treat?
Or appetizer, or something that you ate that you enjoyed at a party or something that you had.
I'm an old-fashioned guy. I like wings. Yeah. I like a good wing with a nice buffalo sauce. And that's all I really need with some good blue cheese. It can't be the blue cheesiest. It needs to have a good taste. What about you, John?
Oh, man, I'm always a burger guy. I like just hamburgers, hot dogs, old-fashioned. Barbecue up, get on the grill, maybe ribs, but best.
I like shrimp and cocktail sauce.
No, I'm saying you could do barbecue, you could fire up the grill. I was trying to think of both. I think the best thing I've had was hamburgers. Someone cooked up with a nice spice, Montreal seasoning. Oh, man, it was good. Good stuff. Angus beef.
Pinner.
Oh, my God.
R2's Pinner.
Dude, that was the third round?
We took him in the fourth round.
Fourth round. My God, dude. Boss Bailey, Pinner. Oh, dude.
What was the best Super Bowl you guys ever saw? Mine was the Rams and the Titans, dude, in 1999.
It was a pretty good one.
That was Kevin Dyson was tackled by Mike Jones just 1 yard short of the end zone. Damn, was that great. In the Georgia Dome, I think. Damn. And then the Rams moved to L.A. just 15 years later.
Man, it's hard to... Best Super Bowl ever. I remember the first one I watched. I remember the first one I watched was 49ers Chargers. I think in like
94?
Yeah.
Dude, I wasn't even alive.
That was Bobby Ross. That was Bobby Ross on the Chargers.
That was Bobby Ross. And then he came here and someone retired.
No, the one in Detroit was nice. It wasn't that great of a game.
That was the worst.
I know, but I'm saying it was here in town. Got to be a part of the festivities. That was nice. Definitely that great catch by Plexico in the corner there.
I don't remember. Yeah, it was Plexico burst.
Antonio Holmes.
No, that was against the Cardinals, dude. We're talking about 2005 at Ford Field. That was Antoine Randall Elba to Plexico Burris or Hines Ward, I forget. But dude, I mean, if you think about it, they had the Rolling Stones play at halftime and it sucked. Like only Detroit, man. I swear to God. How did the hell did that halftime show suck? Look it up. It sucked. And now that I'm older, I love the Rolling Stones. That was a terrible halftime show. Damn it. It was almost as worse as when Prince did
which one I actually like? I'm looking at the history. I like the
Baltimore and the Giants.
Yeah, no.
You piece of garbage. What?
Baltimore 49ers.
Oh, dude, that was a spectacular.
With Harbaugh's.
Yep.
And the power got shut off at halftime and the Sprite got covered.
Yep.
I got my balls licked that night. I was really, really excited.
I'm so happy for you.
I used to date a pothead when that Super Bowl was going on.
All right, well, that'll do it for this episode.
Yes, it will. And
when we come back next week, there won't be any more football.
Oh, sad
and it'll
day.
be sad.
Get on your ass, Brad
We're
Osmus.
destined to bring us down on a sad note, Jarvi.
I couldn't help it.
We're going to get on your ass, Osmus. We're going to get on that ass, son. Well, Brad Osmus, you're a sexy man, and Stan Van Gundy, you are too. Oh, what else are you going to say? Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.com. I got a really tiny dick, and I'll put it inside your boyfriend's ass. I'm just kidding. John's balls.
Okay, nice idiot. F you. Bye-bye.
Let's go. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
See you soon. You are out.
Good day, sir. I said good day.
Wee.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Loser.
Okie dokie. Hey. Bye-bye.